Is this thing on? Testing, testing. Yay, we're live. What up, everybody? I see some people already in the chat. What's up, you guys? So, what's up, everybody? Just joining me this evening to talk about the new moon in Sagittarius. It happens. Actually, this is the 15th of December, and the new moon occurs late tonight on the West Coast. It's at either 10:30 or 11:30 p.m. If you're on the East Coast of the U.S., it is 1:30 a.m. that the new moon occurs. Yes, finally, girl. This wig would just not stay on. It just kept flying off. Okay, like it kept falling off. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I don't wear a wig, but this hair was just not working with me today. Okay, I finally got her to kind of do something that is kind of halfway decent. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Talk about the new moon in Sagittarius. How are you guys doing? The moon is already in Sag. The moon will be the official new moon time where the sun and moon come together at the same degree later on in a few hours from now. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just talk about the energy of that new moon and give your horoscope for, excuse me, every sign, every sun, moon, or rising sign, and let you guys know how the energy affects you and why this new moon is actually pretty important because it is in a conjunction with Saturn. Oh my gosh, Saturn at that 29th degree. Oh my gosh, Saturn in Sag, 29 degrees right now. Oof, it's intense. Are you guys feeling that intenseness too? Like it's crazy. And I know a lot of times when we do horoscopes, a lot of we astrologers will be like, oh my gosh, the energy in the air. And this is a really eventful week and all this stuff. No, but seriously though, Saturn at the 29th degree of Sag, for those who don't know what the hell that means, Saturn is a planet that every 28 to 30 years or so, it comes back around to the same sign. So it takes that long, almost 30 years to orbit the zodiac. And it stays in the sign for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And the effects are, you know, Saturn's a planet of discipline. I call it the drill sergeant. I call it the drill sergeant, the strict dad, the professor, you know, the mean teacher, you know, the strict teacher. Yeah, that's the planet of Saturn. And every almost 3 decades is when it comes back around. So this really is like, you only see Saturn come back around to the same sign maybe once, like 3 times in your life if you're lucky to live a long life of like 90 years old or something, you know. But other than that, you know, not everybody gets to experience Saturn in a certain sign. So anyway, we're at the last degree, all right, because Saturn goes from 0 degrees of one sign to 29 degrees of another one. And then, I mean, 29 degrees of the sign. And then it's like sitting there and it's like buzzing away with all this intense energy. And then it moves on to 0 degrees of the next sign. So I will be doing a video in a few days about Saturn moving into Cappy. Is moving into Capricorn on the 19th or 20th, depending upon where you are in the world because of the time zone differences. So, but yeah, the new moon conjunct Saturn at that 29th degree. Wow, it's crazy. You know, the 29th degree, the last degree of a sign when a planet is there, is when you will see, it's kind of like a wrap up. It's a wrap up of whatever that area of life rules for you. Wherever Sag is in your chart, and I will go over that for every sign of where that is and what that area of life is. So anyway, yeah, it's like whatever planet is next to the moon during a new moon, it's like it's imprinted in that, you know, because we say the new moon, the effects of it last like a few weeks or whatever. So that planet's influence, it lasts that long too. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing a lot of reflecting back on Saturn in Sagittarius and where it is in my chart. For me, it's in the area of like business and finance and stuff. And you know what? It's crazy because a couple years ago when Saturn first entered Sagittarius, that was in 2015. So if you guys could think back, this is a part of the new moon, okay? Think back to 2015. What new chapters began for you? What new challenges did you have that like just started and now you're kind of like looking back, or you're wrapping things up, or maybe you're coming to a conclusion that like, you know what, something didn't work out in this particular area of life. Like, what is going on with you? Oh my goodness, Rachel is here. What's up, Rachel and Claire and Gary, Christian? Oh my gosh, I see all you guys. What up? What up? But yeah, so what area of life has been affected the most over the last couple of years for you guys? Yes, Miss Mel says Saturn dealt with me at 2000 since 2015. Lord, yes, I hear you, girl. I hear you. So yeah, a couple years ago, 2015. That's when I first started my astrology business. I started like growing, because before I would just give readings for free for years. All right. I would just use my friends and people I knew as like test subjects. I would go into astrology groups online. Anybody that asked a question, hey, look at my chart, what do you see? I would just be like, shh, you know, and just tell people, just give them free readings for years. And I didn't really feel like I should charge, you know, for stuff like that. But once Saturn kicked in the door to my second house of earning money, he kicked in the door. He looked around. He was like, yo, why are you not like putting those talents to use towards business or something? And I was like, oh my God, Saturn, like, why would I charge people? I love doing with it. You know, this is what I love doing. Why would I charge people? And Saturn's like, look, if you're serious about this as a career, you have to start learning your worth, your value, your services, your businesses, your talent. It has value. And I was like, no, but I don't want to charge people money. It was so hard, yo. It was so hard. So anyway, that's where it was for me. I'm a Scorpio rising. It was in the second house. So, you know, let me know you guys' rising sign. What's Saturn been doing for you guys in Sagittarius? So pretty much this new moon is going to help to bring a new beginning in that area where Saturn is leaving. Okay, so that's why we're talking about Saturn here along with the new moon. You know what? I have the lower third on. Maybe I'll take it off in a little bit, but I am wearing a shirt that, hold on, let me see if you guys see it. Hopefully I don't catch any ugly lighting or angles or anything, but you can see I have Snoop Doggy Dogg on my shirt. I love Snoop, and I just saw earlier that the Chronic album came out 25 years ago. 25 years ago. Oh my gosh, that made me feel like so old. I'm like, dude, 25 years ago the Chronic came out. And yeah, I just been thinking about that. It's crazy. I actually have a poster of the Chronic album, but my son, like my oldest son, snatched like all my dope posters. You guys should see his room if you love hip hop. Like, he's got like every dope hip hop artist, like the new ones and the old ones, like all on his wall. Stole all my stuff, okay? But I'm like, hey, you know what? If you got good taste, you learned it from your mom, okay, I can't be mad. Yeah, 25 years ago, the Chronic came out. But anyway, if you are old enough to remember 28 years ago, okay, when Saturn was in Sagittarius, before, and what area of life was affected for you during that time, if you're that old enough to remember? I wasn't even born, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, let's talk about new moons. What do new moons represent? New moons are times for new beginnings, and I always find that it's a lot of times new moons are like, you know, that saying, when one door closes, another one opens. Sometimes it's like something old, like the door is shut on it. Okay, the door is shut, so a new one can open in that same area. You could start fresh, start new. New moons are good times for manifesting new things. Full moons can be too. Full moons are more like, I can't take this shit no more. Like, things get way intense and you gotta like release something because of the intensity and just make a decision to be like, you know what, that's it. And you like, and I'm telling you guys, watch your social media, watch your Facebook, your Instagrams, watch all that stuff, and watch around these lunar events, new moons and full moons. That's when you see people make announcements and they say, oh, guess what? I'm starting this new chapter, or I'm breaking up with somebody, or, you know, there's something new, some door closed, some door open for people all the time during new moons. So yeah, watch your social media. And it's funny because a lot of times, like, I always run into people that are like, they're clueless about astrology, or they make fun of it, or they're just like, what? Like, it's stupid, or it's evil, or they don't believe in it. But they're always the ones like that I see on social media, like you know, and it's a new moon, they're like, I am declaring that I am changing this blah, 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 blah today. And I'm just like, new moon, full moon. Or they're like, oh my God, my printer stopped working. And I'm like, Mercury retrograde, but astrology is BS, right? Okay. So tell me if you guys know what I'm talking about here. Christian says, sometimes I don't trust most social media, to be honest. Ooh, Christian, are you Scorpio? Are you an 8th house, or where's the Scorpio on your chart? Okay. And Claire says, same. Yes, girl, you feel me. Hannah, what's up? Nope, you're just joining us. We're still in the beginning of talking about the new moon in Sag, talking about the effects of it for every sign. So yes, new moons, new beginnings, you know, closing the doors somewhere, closing a chapter, definitely because of Saturn ending its transit through Sag. It is closing chapters on things. Sometimes, you know, this type of a new moon can be that you're finishing something. You're putting the finishing touches, like, you know, you're graduating, you are achieving something, or you're letting something go. Like, I was watching a video by Shameless Maya the other day. I love Shameless Maya. I've been following her for years, okay? And she did a video the other day where she was talking about how she said she thought she feels like she failed as like a boss, you know? She failed as somebody who owns a business and has people employed underneath her. And so she was saying, you know, that she's learned a lesson where she got knocked right back down that mountain. And now she has to start fresh and new and from a different perspective and climb back up when it comes to business. And a lot of times, especially Saturn transits could be like that, to where he knocks you down that mountain and then you got to climb up again, start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? That's like so Saturn right there. So anyway, this new moon is carrying some of that type of energy too, with it being conjunct Saturn. So yeah, I see. Hannah says she has Sag on her 5th house cusp. Oh, okay. So that means this new moon, definitely listen to, are you a Leo rising, Hannah? If so, then you would listen to the horoscope, pay attention for the Leo one to tell you how this new moon is going to affect you. If I seem tongue-tied, guys, I'm sorry. Mercury is still retrograde. We're still dealing with that mess, okay? Oh my gosh, Mercury retrograde. So anyway, yeah, that's new moons. Let's see, Satara, I appreciate the honesty. I can't stand when people are fake on social media. I hear you. So yeah, anyway, this new moon, conjunct Saturn, it's huge. It is a huge thing. The 29th degree of a sign, a planet in the 29th degree, it can be a lot of times like, let's see, there's one of my colleagues, Rabina Rostaban. She also has a YouTube. She also has a podcast. So go look her up, check her out. Hey, what's up, Sheena? What's up, girl? Rabina, she had a show where she talked about the 29th degree, what's called the anaretic degree or critical degree in astrology. And yo, let me tell you, this 29th degree, as soon as Saturn ingressed into this 29th degree of Sag, I started seeing people kind of like, the pressure is on, you know, the pressure is on. A lot of people around me included, I feel like the pressure is on to wrap up some certain things. For me, Saturn, like I said, it's in the 2nd house of income, and it's also in the 8th house because I'm a Taurus sun. So going by the sun, you know, this is also dealing with 8th house stuff, which is like inheritance and stuff like that, you know. And I have been dealing with inheritance stuff too as a Taurus. I've got pressure on me to like check on this, check on that, because a lot of you guys know my dad just passed 2 weeks ago and I'm his oldest child. So I've got to deal with a lot of that stuff, you know, and I just had a call from a family member like, oh, are you going to hurry up and come pick up one of his cars from my garage? You're going to hurry up and do this. You're going to hurry up and do that. And I'm just like, oh my God, like the pressure is on me. And I'm like, yo, like I got shit to do. Like, yeah, I'll get to it, you know? And also, as a Pisces moon, Saturn is squaring my moon, number 1. Like, Lord have mercy. Anybody else, if you're a Pisces, if you're a Virgo, if you're a Gemini, a mutable sign, Saturn has been really rough on the mutables especially. So let me know your experiences over the last couple of years if you're a mutable sign. And also, let's see, what other signs are getting it? Well, yeah, pretty much the mutables. It's kind of difficult. But yeah, if you're a Pisces too, like Saturn has been like, putting the pressure on you with career. Yo, I've had like bosses that really made me feel like crap, made me feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like really put pressure on me the last couple of years. And I had to bounce, man. That pressure was too much for me. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that's like being wrapped up and reflected upon right now. But like I said, you know, there's a lot of things that are ending right now because of Saturn finishing up, but this new moon is opening a new door to see things from a new perspective. If it's not like some magic that you see happen, like, oh my God, the new moon brought me a magical new beginning or magical new this. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it doesn't manifest that way outside of yourself. Maybe it's within yourself. You're realizing something new. You know, you're seeing that part of life from a different perspective. So when I give you your horoscope for your sign, take all of this in, okay? Think of all of this stuff because it all goes along with the new moon. Sheena says she's sorry to, oh, thank you so much. Oh, you okay. So when Saturn conjunct your moon, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Sheena. So you feel the pain, girl. You know how that is. This is new to me, but I'm dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? Satara says had to quit her career as a social worker after 2 years. Really? And where is Saturn in your chart right now, Satara? Where has it been in the last couple of years? Yeah. Oh, okay. So Miss Mel says Jupiter and Chiron and Pisces, forced to seek out spiritual and astrological answers. Yes. Alexis. Hey, what's up, Alexis? Gemini, Sun, and Sag, Moon. Saturn's been rough for you. I hear you on that, girl. But you know what? Now Saturn's going to be entering a new sign, a new chapter for us, new energy, new lessons, because you know Saturn kicks ass, man. He puts his steel-toe boots on. You know what I'm saying? He could be a drill sergeant. And I posted on Instagram the other day. I made a little meme of Eazy-E because you guys know I love me some Eazy. I did a little meme of Eazy-E, and I always think when I think of Saturn, I think of that line in Real Mother G's where he says, "Gotta follow your sergeant's directions or get your ass popped with a Smith and Wesson." Don't let me rap right now while the spotlight is on me. I sound like a dummy, but that line, I always think of Saturn. When I hear Saturn, I think of "Gotta follow your sergeant's directions or get your ass whooped." You know, because it's true. Like Saturn's energy could be like that. But it's tough love. It's all for the better. It's to whip you into shape in that area of life. So in the area of life of Sagittarius, that's what it's been like. If you are a Sag yourself, I feel for you, Lord. I feel for you. Where's my tambourine so I can shake that mug? Woo! To my Saggies, like, dang, man. You guys have really had the pressure on you over the last couple of years. Of course, let us share in the chat, share in the comments. Let us know your experiences as a Sag. Actually, I'll be talking more about this when I do the Saturn video in a couple of days. I'll be doing a Saturn live stream about Saturn and Cap, wrapping up the Saturn and Sag stuff a little bit more, reiterating on that. But yeah, I had to mention Saturn because this new moon is connected to Saturn too. So anyhow, hold on. I need a drink of water from all this talking. Let's see. Satara, Saturn return in the 4th house. Right now, it's in your 5th house. How has that been for you, Satara? Yes, I hear you. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Gary said he has Jupiter and Sag in the 7th house. He lost some friends and learned a lot. He learned his value. So that means Saturn's been in your 7th house of relationships too, Gary. So that's not just love relationships. That's just other people. The 7th house is the house of others. If you don't know the houses, then when we say 7th house, we mean your opposite sign. So Gary must be a Gemini rising, I'm assuming. So if you're a Gemini, your 7th house would be your opposite sign, which is Sag. If you're a Cancer, your 7th house would be your opposite sign, which is Capricorn, and so on and so forth. Yes. So Gary learned some lessons when it came to other people's. I hear you on that, Gary. I hear you. So I'm going to take a sip real quick. Then we'll get into some horoscopes. Oh, yo, sorry. Oh my gosh. So Mel says sun at 0 degrees Cap and you can't afford to worry anymore. Dang. That means Saturn is really going to start creeping up on your sun. And actually, I have another special on my website. Sorry, guys. I have a special sale going on. A Saturn and Capricorn forecast, yo, like a personalized Saturn and Capricorn forecast. So go check that out. My website is going to be linked in the I button and also below the video. I am giving personal forecast for Saturn in Capricorn, how it's going to affect you over the next 2 years. But that's like for you personally, you know, because we can give general horoscopes all day on YouTube, okay? But if you are a person, well, everybody's a person, okay? You have your own unique chart. So Saturn may be hitting certain planets for you, aspecting certain planets. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to give you a forecast that's based on your exact birthday, your exact birth time. So yes, I am offering that service. I am going to be giving a special discount to those who are born in the Saturn and Cappy generation. Okay, because that means it's your Saturn return, and there's a lot more that we have to go over, and I really feel for you guys because the Saturn return, yo, it could be a time of many great extreme life lessons, and I would love to provide guidance. So if you are a part of the Saturn and Cappy generation, like 1988 to 91, you got to pull up your chart though. Send me your chart, email me at indigomoonAstrology@gmail.com. And I'll give you a coupon code to where you can get a discounted personal Saturn and Capricorn forecast. And I'll let you know all about your Saturn return, boo-boo, because you will need some guidance. Okay, trust me. Okay. So yeah, just had to give that shameless plug. All right. Satara says, I had got married, forced to leave my career, second child. Now you're trying to switch careers, start your own biz. Satara. Gotta fan myself because that is a lot. That is a lot. That is major. Yo, that is so major. All this major life stuff happening to you right now. And I'm sorry I may have missed it, Satara, but did you say that you're going through... Oh, okay. Saturn is in your 5th house right now. Oh, okay. So a lot of that stuff is definitely Saturn in the 5th. So yeah, now some new doors will be opening for you with the new moon in Sag with that 5th house. So yeah. Okay, so let's get into the horoscopes for every sign. I don't really have too much time. You guys already know I have a lot of family responsibilities. I always have to do things, and then I got to take off, run people places, pick people up, and all that good stuff. So let's get your horoscope on. Let's get our horoscope on. So yeah, Saturn, I'm sorry. The new moon in Sagittarius conjunct Saturn is happening in a few hours. It'll be at its peak. So set your intentions, you guys. Set your intentions before, during, and maybe a few hours after that new moon, if you're still awake at that time, wherever you are in the world, because that is the crucial time when the energy is like really, really, you know, potent and everything. It's so strong. So that's when you guys are going to, yeah, set your intentions, you know, to manifest the best. I really hope everybody manifests the best out of this new moon because, yo, the Sagittarian lessons are so real right now. So real. I'm going to take off my lower third just because I just feel like it. So you guys see my Snoop Dogg shirt. And while I do that, Gary says Saturn is going to transit the 8th and 9th house for you. And you're a Saturn in Pisces. Oh, yeah, Saturn in Pisces. When Saturn in Pisces comes around, Gary, hit me up because I will give you a special Saturn return specialized forecast for you too. All right. So how do we turn off this lower third thingy? Does that turn it off or does it like just flip it around backwards? I don't know. Anyway, yes, confidence, creativity. Yes, sure does. Okay. So now let's get into the horoscopes. All right. Let's get our horoscope on here, guys. So let's start with Aries people. Aries, sun, moon, or rising. How is the new moon in Sag conjunct Saturn affecting you guys? And once again, everybody look up your birth chart. I have links below the video to where you can go and look it up for free. There's also a little thing on my website on indigomoonAstrology.com. I have a little box on my website to where you can pull up your birth chart too. So Aries, this is in your 9th house, wrapping things up, new beginnings with 9th house stuff. Some Aries people finishing school, going back to school, making decisions about school, making decisions about traveling. Some of you guys, maybe you've been having a lot of pressure on you with career and a lot of different stuff, and you haven't even been able to travel. The ninth house is also, I find it to be like life experiences, like really exciting life experiences, okay? Like exploring the world around you, not just your little, you know, being in your little zone, your neighborhood around the way and all that stuff. That's what I call the third house, your own little bubble. So getting outside of that and whatever that means for you. So yeah, Aries people, it's time. It's time for you guys to have some fun in life again. And also, you know, the ninth house could have been like you guys working under somebody, like under a guru, working as an apprentice, to learn some new things. And it could have been a difficult ride. And I just keep thinking about school, man. The ninth house is like college and school. I remember when I had Saturn in the ninth house, I actually did start college. I felt that pressure from Saturn to like mature and to start like going to college. And I did. And you know what? The biggest lesson I learned was to not take too many freaking classes, because I signed up for 18 freaking credits and I was working full time and part-time and I was a mom. And I was like, dude, like I burned myself out, yo. I learned a big lesson about college. By the time that transit was over, I was part-time. I was part-time in college, like 6 credits instead of 18, because it was just, oh man, I was doing too much. Anyway, so yeah, so that's for Aries people. It could be things revolving around school. You're finishing things up. You want more life experiences. You want to travel more. So you can get it now, Aries. New doors are going to open up for you. And don't forget to reflect back on the lessons learned over the last few years of how you can do it better in that area of life. So good luck. So next up is Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. How is the new moon in Sag conjunct Saturn affecting you guys? I feel for you, Tauruses. And I mentioned Shameless Maya earlier. Love Shameless Maya. Shameless Maya is also a Taurus. She's a sun in Taurus. And the stuff she was talking about in her latest video is totally 8th house stuff. That means they say other people's money, but that could mean in a situation like she had where she employed other people underneath her. And that's how she was receiving her income, her coins, you know, is from employing others. But guess what? She learned a hard lesson because she bit off more than she could chew financially. And she ended up in the end of the Saturn transit having to let her people go, downsize her business and all that. And I was like, oh, I felt so bad for her because I was so happy and proud when she had her little Shameless studios and offices. I was like, yes, get it, because Shameless Maya, like I love her because she also does photo and video and like really a lot of creative work. And I do all that stuff too. You guys have yet to see a lot of that stuff from me, but I do it too. And I'm like, yo, like she was inspiring by doing that. And she is like, oh, I let you guys down. Like I'm a failure. It's not about that though. Don't think of yourself as a failure, Taurus. If you have failed in the areas of anything to do with joining forces with other people financially, anything to do with intimacy also is a big thing with the 8th house, like not letting your wall down, not being able to let your guard down over the last couple of years. And let me tell you guys something else about the 8th house. The 8th house is also where you store and stash away trauma and pain. Like if you experience a really whack, effed up relationship that really did you dirty and really hurt your heart, and it made you put a wall up towards other people, that's the 8th house right there. So maybe some Tauruses have been dealing with that too, not allowing themselves to really fully open up to somebody. You know, maybe you've had somebody trying to get at you and it's like, no, Taurus, just let me in. You know, like I really want to show you love and everything. And they're just like, no, like Tauruses are like, nah, I can't because I've been hurt before. I don't want you to hurt me like this other mother that hurt me before, you know? And now, Tauruses, it's time to let it all go. Maybe you've experienced things to where you got some healing, some therapy, like, you know, you've seen a psychologist or just like helped yourself to heal some other kind of way. You know, it's about that too. So letting go of some old traumatic stuff and then opening a door to allow yourself to maybe be gifted with a beautiful bond, like a soul bond with somebody. You can move on and be free. I have a friend close to me. She's not a Taurus. but she's an Aries. So Aries experienced the same transit a couple years ago, Tauruses. And during her transit of Saturn in the 8th house, she dealt with some traumatic stuff like sexual abuse from her past and childhood and like horrible relationships. Like she got it all out, okay, by going to therapy and writing a book. She wrote a book. It was therapeutic for her to do that. And in return, it also helped other people, you know. And I read her book and y'all, I was crying. Oh my God, I was bawling. I was like, girl, I feel you. I was flipping the pages because it's so real. Getting rid of that trauma that you've been holding on to. Anyhow, so Tauruses, it's time to get that out. Open a new door. Allow yourself to feel, to be bonding with people on a soul, heart-to-heart level. And getting those coins right. Getting those coins right, especially if you're married, you're together with your partner, you have a boo, you guys have been struggling to like join forces and get that joint bank account. And you know, Tauruses, we don't play with money, okay? We don't play around. So it could have been difficult for some of us to get our significant other on the same page as us. Like, come on, like stop spending up all the money, okay? Like, come on, you know? We have to save. Like Tauruses, we're about saving money. We're not about just spending it all over the place, throwing it in the air. You know what I'm saying? I feel like acting like we have a magical money tree. Some of us have had a partner that thinks that. And we've had to smack them around a little bit like, yo, just stop, okay? What up? There's another Pisces moon in the house in the chat. What up, Vivian? So anyhow, Tauruses, best of luck to you guys. New doors are opening. Things are ending and beginning. So good luck to you guys. Next up is Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, or rising. How's the new moon in Sag affecting you guys? This is in your 7th house of relationships. So Gary, I hope you're listening. Okay. I'm crossing my legs and I got my tea and I'm just like, Gemini, let's sip some tea with you guys. Okay. Okay. All right. So this has been your relationships for Geminis. And I tell you guys all the time, and I'm sorry, I told you I couldn't get my wig right. So that's why I'm like just messing with it a lot. But Geminis, your relationship life has been crazy. Okay, Vanessa, I'm talking about Saturn in transit right now, along with the full moon, because the full moon and Saturn are like close together, so that they're working together with this new moon energy. Gary's Gemini moon and rising. Okay, so listen, it's time to wrap things up with relationships. I know a few Geminis that are actually getting divorced and finalizing that. Or they were on the verge of divorce or breakups. And now with Saturn at this last degree of Sag and the new moon in Sag, they're like, okay, you know what? It's now or never. It's make or break. Like, we got to get this shit right. Like, we have to either go to counseling, therapy. We have to freaking just get our lives on our own. Okay. Or, you know, something's got to give. It's that something's got to give type of thing. Hold on. At my microphone. You know, I try to be all sly ninja and like wire myself, mic myself. It's all like sliding. Mercury retrograde. Forgive me, Geminis. Anyhow, so it's time to get it together, Geminis. It's time to make that decision. Are you going to stay? Are you going to go? Your partners could be making that decision. If they're going to stay or they're going to go. And, you know, I love you guys, Gemini. I have a love-hate with Geminis because you guys are my 8th house. But, you know, you guys can pull some antics, okay? Like, you guys have antics for days to where you guys are, like, bouncing around here, there, all over the place, you know. And some of you guys, you just really love your freedom to have variety in your life and all that stuff. And some Geminis, not all of you guys, but some of you guys have been pulling your antics, and maybe you have a partner that's fed up with you, okay, that's going to tell you, hey, it's either now or never. It's either we're going to commit. We've been together for like 12 years, and you're still bouncing around the idea of marriage and commitment. Like, come on now, like, make a decision. Like, what do you want, you know? So it could be some of you guys experiencing that externally. It's manifesting that way through other people. But yeah, relationships have been crazy. I know some Geminis that I'm not going to name any names, but like one of them had their significant other pull a shotgun out on them, okay, during the Saturn transit through their 7th house. threatened to kill them. They had, there was another one I know that had to go chase after, she tracked down her man on the go find my iPhone app or whatever. And she found him with another woman and his side chick and the kid, a side baby, at a park, and had to go swing. You know, not swing on the swings. No, she had to go swing. Okay. That's a Gemini that I know. She had to do that. It was her man. And I know Geminis get a bad rep. Oh, you guys are unfaithful. But no, this Gemini I know, she's really down for her husband. And she's never cheated or nothing like that. It was her husband pulling some antics. You know what I'm saying? So some Geminis have been through it. I have another Gemini that I know. Her man had a secret apartment, and she found out about it. And he had a secret side chick too that he would take to this apartment. And she found out about that. Okay, there was some serious tests for Geminis, okay, over the last few years. I know another Gemini, there's usually a player, but they got married. And they were like, yo, like they were always contacting me like, this marriage thing is making me antsy. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like going back to my old ways of like creeping, you know, having my variety, but like, you know, and their partner is getting on their nerves so bad. Like, oh my gosh, I can't stand them. Like, and I keep telling that person, like, this time of your life with your marriage, Gemini, is now or never, make or break. Okay, you gotta make a decision. Are you going to put up with this or not? Like, are you going to stay put in one spot, or you want to just be free? Woo, bouncing around. Hey, you know, all over the place. So yeah, a lot of Geminis have been through some things with their relationships. I'm telling you. So with all that being said, all that tea. Okay. Yo, I was going to take a sip, but one of my hers fell out of my wig into my tea. Never mind. But Gemini, it's now or never, make or break, finalization of things, and then a new door will open for you. Maybe a relationship has to end, but guess what? A door is going to open for you for a new relationship, or for singledom, so you could be happy. You know, you can have your freedom. You can date whoever you want or not date and just be you, you know? So it's really that time for you guys. And then, okay, never mind. I'll get into the whole Saturn shift once we do a Saturn and Capricorn video in a few days. But you guys will be starting a brand new chapter with relationships at that time. But yes, either stay or go, Gemini. What you gonna do? Okay. So next up is Cancer. After all that, woof, I need to catch my breath. Okay, after all that, Cancer. Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. How is the new moon in Saggy going to affect you guys? This is in your 6th house, so this is work. So some Cancers are on their way out when it comes to jobs. They're just like, yo, I can't take this anymore. Like, you know, some Cancers have had it rough. Like, you guys have either been having a boss on your back, acting like that drill sergeant, telling you that line from Real Motherfucking G's from Eazy-E, like, you got to follow your sergeant's directions, or I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Some of you guys have had management and bosses that have been tough. It's been tough to stay at one job because people have just been like around you, you know, or like you just start feeling at your job like it's not really for you. You feel like it's drudgery, and you finally want like an actual career, you know. You don't just want to go somewhere every day and there's the same thing every single day. Boring. Okay. Some of you Cancers have been going through that. Now you're going to switch things up. So it's either you're looking for a new job. Maybe you're trying to seek out promotion or recognition at your current job. Maybe you've been through a lot. Maybe you have been handed a lot of responsibility, and finally you want to be recognized for it. Or maybe some of you guys, like, I know some Cancers, because I have a lot of clients that I read for all the time. And I know one that was like, yo, like, I was given a management job and I don't even want it anymore. It's not for me, you know? So Saturn, it rules like responsibility that's heavy. That can mean big business. That can be promotion, a high position of authority. And some Cancers have been given that, and they're like, I'm too nice for this. Like, Cancers are sweet people normally, you know what I'm saying? Normally. So I had one that said, I don't want this. I just want to be a regular worker. So it's either or. Some of you guys want to step it up. Some of you guys want to step down, you know? So it's a new beginning when it comes to your jobs. Cancer. So leaving a job, starting a new job, a new position at your same job. Any of those could be going on for you guys with this new moon. It's opening a door. It could be closing another. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Also with health for Cancers, you guys are changing things up. Maybe Saturn's been whipping you into shape. Literally, I do know a Cancer who, man, he made a lot of life changes over the last several months because Saturn has been finishing up its run through his 6th house. And that means it's crunch time, okay? So he's looking good these days. He's lost a lot of weight. You know, he was handsome before. I mean, I don't judge, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when he was a little heavier, he was still a handsome dude, but he's lost weight. He feels better. He changed his diet and like, he's, you know, he's just feeling really good. So some Cancers are really completing that mission of good health in their life. So new moon will open the doors for some more of that. So next up is Leo. Leo, sun, moon, or rising. How's a new moon in Sag going to be affecting you guys? This is going to be in your 5th house. So dang it, I forgot who was in the chat, but I hope you're listening because I'm talking to you, boo-boo. Okay. So anyway, I think it was it you, Satara? I think it was. It said Saturn in the 5th house, or yeah, Sag is your 5th house. My bad. Anyway, so if you're a Leo, sun, moon, or rising, this new moon is affecting your 5th house, which is the house of fun. It's a house of fun, enjoyment, getting out, doing fun things, going fun places. It's also dating. So some Leos, for some of you guys, the dating has been dry, hasn't it? Like, it's been dry, or you've had a lot of duds. You've had a lot of frogs, okay? Just like, it just hasn't been fun. Or just like some of you guys have tried the online dating thing and it's like, ugh, you've gotten been taking a lot of L's, you know, literally like a bunch of losers hitting you up. Oh man, I know. The romance has been dry. But, you know, maybe it was to teach you guys something about romance and like not giving yourself away in that way to somebody like too easily, being more selective in who you choose as romantic partners and who you date. So just think of it that way. It's not just like Saturn isn't just a fun snatcher, you know what I'm saying? And you guys know where I got that from. Oh my God, Mercury retrograde making me stutter. Let me start over. Okay, so you guys know where I got that from, the fun snatcher. I used to watch the Braxton Family Values, like their reality show. I've only watched like one season, like a long time ago. Trina, the sister Trina Braxton, is a Sag, and she called her husband the fun snatcher. I love that, man. Sages are so funny. But yeah, so you guys could feel like Saturn has been the fun snatcher for you. Not even just with dating, but like doing hobbies and stuff. But I know some Leos, some Leo risings and Leo other planets that have turned hobbies into business, okay? Because Saturn is that planet of business. This is a business. That's what Saturn says. This is a business. If you guys are old enough to cherish the movie Purple Rain like I do, you know there's a scene in that movie where this dude kicks in the door and he pretty much tells Prince, stop being a little bitch and stop crying. And he says, this is a business. I always think of that dude when I think of Saturn too. So Saturn has been telling you guys, with the things that you do that's creative, that's fun, turn it into a business. You know what I'm saying? And some of you guys have been successful with doing that. So yes, Satara, I love Prince too. He's like my ultimate idol, and boo, I love him so much. Anyway, so some of you Leos have been going through that. You've been doing that. Some of you guys have had the responsibility of children, heavy responsibility of children. Maybe if you already have children, they've been giving you a lot of issues. Like, you know, maybe they just have been more needing your attention and your time more. Maybe they're involved in activities where you got to be running here, there, and everywhere. I have a homegirl who's a Leo moon. And yeah, her kids have been, she has like 4 or 5, I don't know how many damn kids she's got, like 500 of them. And all of them are involved in activities. And she's like, oh my gosh, can't catch a break. You know what I'm saying? Like every weekend I go here, then I go there to this game, that game, this activity, that activity. I'm like, girl, how do you keep up? She's able to keep up because she's a Gemini rising. And, you know, they're just like, blah, 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 like Tasmanian devils. But it has been difficult though. But that's a good thing though. It's like keeping your kids involved in things, keeping them in line. You know what I'm saying? Some Leos have been experiencing that. Some Leos have been kind of blocked in the area of having children. And I really feel for you guys if that's the case. But when Saturn leaves and there's a new moon here, well, there's a new moon first and then Saturn leaves, maybe you guys will be granted more luck with fertility. So yeah, cross my fingers for you if you're a Leo and you want that. So next up is Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. How is the new moon in Sag affecting you guys? And it is conjunct Saturn. Saturn's involved. So this has been in your 4th house, home and family. Finalizations, wrapping things up. Wow. With home and family life. So yeah, Virgos have had some heavy stuff going on. Anytime you have Saturn transiting your 1st, your 4th, your 7th, or your 10th house, it's like mad heavy. Or if it's a water house, 4th house is a water house, 8th house, 12th house. Those are really hardcore Saturn transits that can really be like the times of your lives where you look back, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm surprised I survived that. Like it was really difficult. So Virgos have been going through that. So now you guys, new door gonna open. Maybe some Virgos have been living somewhere where it was like they didn't really like where they live. Maybe they moved somewhere and the place was like horrible. Like it was a disaster. Like maybe it was like a fixer-upper. It needed a lot of work. Maybe I know some Virgos that may have like inherited a home and it needed a lot of work. Like it was just busted, like broken down. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you guys have moved a lot, or maybe some of you guys had to like move in with family members. Oh, the annoyance with that. I have heard from some Virgos. Just wrapping some things up with that. Now it's time where you guys can move into your own spot, or you can move to a new spot, or make the spot that you live in right now much more comfortable, feel like home. Maybe some of you guys have had family members living with you. OMG, that can be tough sometimes. And Virgos are one of those signs that are easily annoyed by people, okay? Easily annoyed. You guys can like see everybody's flaws and all the ways that they mess up, and every day you'll be like, oh my God, look at this, look at that, pick this up, pick that up. What are you doing? Da, 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 da. Like, I can't believe these people are in my house. I can't believe I'm related to you. So some of you guys have been going through that. Hannah says, taking care of her mom. Yes. So some of you guys have had to take care of elderly family members, older family members, younger family members. I know a Virgo that had to take care of a family member on drugs. Okay. Oof, it's been tough. But guess what? That ride is ending. Okay. So things are finally going to start settling down in that area. So Virgos, you guys can clap for joy. You know, this new moon will be a release from some of that, a release from that heavy burden of discomfort when it comes to where you live or anything involving your family. And the new moon can just open a new door. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, good luck to you guys, Virgos. I really hope that, you know, hard times are over for you guys in this area of life at least. So yes, Hannah said it's been very hard, but God is good. God is good all the time. Yes. Shake a tambourine. All right. So next up, let me get a little comfy. Speaking of comfort, next up is, maybe I can sit back a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't unplug my microphone. Mercury retrograde. Knowing me, it will. So let me make a little adjustments here. All right. So next up is Libra. Libra, sun, moon, or rising. This new moon in Saggy conjunct Saturn. How's it affecting you guys? This is your 3rd house. Yes. This is your 3rd house for Libra. So this has been in the area of communication. This has been in the area of, you know, getting around. I don't mean like get around like the Tupac song, Get Around. I mean like getting around, like driving, you know, stuff like that. A lot of Libras have had car troubles or trouble with getting a car, buying a car, getting a car running. You know what I'm saying? What's your name? Jay McOrgan, you're a Libra wild. Oh, there's a lot of Libras in the house. What up, Libras? So yes, communication with people may have been difficult for you guys over the last few years. And you know, the 3rd house, it's also a ruler of the mind. It's one of the things in your chart that rules the mind. It's the third house. It's Mercury. It's Jupiter. It's also, what is it? The ninth house in a way. Also the moon can rule your mind. And also like the 12th and the 8th house are like your subconscious. The 4th house is like memories. There's a lot of things in your chart that could rule the mind in a sense, right? But the third house rules the mind. So Saturn's energy could be very heavy. And it could be like a stingy old man. So some of you guys, the way you've been thinking and speaking over the last couple of years is not your usual Libra self. It's been like more like a stingy old man and like complaining sometimes and thinking, having the perspective that life is hard. Like life is hard and like you young bucks, you don't know anything, you know? And just kind of sometimes having a really tough perspective on life. But you know what? That's starting to fade off now. And, you know, now you guys will be a little bit more of your Libra self that, you know, it wants to get along with people and not just be like crotchety and old and stuff like that. So you guys will be getting back to that. This new moon will help. Saturn leaving will help. What else? The third house is like, yeah, it's your thinking. So some of you guys have been thinking in a very critical way. But also the good thing about Saturn in the third house, Saturn is work. And some of you Libras who have been wanting to work in the media, that means social media, building a platform for yourself. That means writing a book, building a website, you know, like getting yourself out there, speaking your mind, expressing yourself, what's on your mind. Some of you guys have been building and working on that. So you know what? Saturn is helping you guys to put the finishing touches on that. Yeah, either that or let something go that wasn't working for you. And here comes the new moon too. Hey, opening a door, closing one that didn't work. You know, it had nothing behind it. Opening the new. So, woo, Libras, best of luck to you guys with all of that stuff. So yes, next up is Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. How's a new moon in Sag conjunct Saturn affecting you guys? So this is your second house of money. I mentioned a little bit earlier in the general stuff because I am also a Scorpio. It's my rising sign. So I'm right there with you guys with the troubles of the second house. Oh my gosh. So Scorpio, we and Taurus are the signs that rule money. And so when our money is messed with, we are not happy people because money makes us feel secure. And I know people will say, money isn't everything. Money doesn't happen. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, when you're a sign that feels secure, when your finances are secure, you can't help but money be an important factor in your life. Not saying the gold digger, materialistic type of concerns with money. I'm talking about its securities, okay? Like Scorpio is a sign of banks, storing your money away for a rainy day, for an emergency. Scorpios, we can be kind of paranoid, just saying, just being honest about our energy. We can be paranoid, but that's because we're aware of the worst that can happen in life. So we are one of the main signs that we like to make sure there's money in the bank, just in case of emergencies, just in case of that. We don't like to go without like the things that make us feel secure, pretty much. Okay, so having our money messed with, oh man, Saturn has been teaching us some lessons. It's been teaching us some big time lessons about money. So how you spend your money, what you do with it, do you save it? You know, all of that stuff has been affecting Scorpios over the last 2 years. Some of us have had some issues with jobs. Like we've had to step down from jobs. Maybe we got like a top position somewhere. We figured out it wasn't for us. So we had to step down, start somewhere fresh, you know, but it's somewhere where you can build. Saturn is about building for longevity. So I know it's been tough. Saturn kicks butt. He's about tough love. But he's whipping us into shape in this area. He's showing us our value, what we're worth, what we should be paid if we're working for others. You know what I'm saying? If we're trying to establish a business on our own income by our own means, Saturn has been whipping us into shape with doing that, Scorpios, to make sure that we're secure for the long term, not just the right now, you know, what we want right now, spending right now. No, long term. So anything that hasn't been like true to us and going to like serve us in the long run, Saturn is like, nope, we got to get rid of that. So even if some of you Scorpios have been fired from jobs, you had to quit, you've been unemployed for a while, guess what? New beginnings with that. Hopefully it's something good. Hopefully you guys get a raise. Hopefully you guys get a new job. You're paid what you're worth now. Or, you know, even if you are paid a little less, guess what? This is a position to where you have opportunity for growth, where maybe you were in some job where it was just like sitting in a corner, like I was before. I was at a job where I felt like it was a soul draining freaking, like sitting in a soul draining cubicle. That's how I described it. There was like no life there, and no opportunity to advance and get raises. They didn't give bonuses, nothing. So guess what? Yeah, it took me having a nervous breakdown. Like, I'm not joking. I really did have one, to leave that job as a Scorpio, and to start fresh and new with my own business. You know, and it was a challenge, but guess what? It's a bit, having a business of my own is something that's going to be like more long-term than that job. And that job was like, it paid really well, it had great benefits and all that stuff, but it was just, nah, it wasn't for me. So some of you other Scorpios, you know what I'm talking about. So it's all about longevity and stability when it comes to our finances. So even if our asses have been kicked, okay, our bank accounts have been like dried, and you know that Kevin Hart stand-up where he's like, yeah, you see, I'd love to party with you guys, but you see the way my bank account is set up. You know what I'm saying? Scorpios have been having to say that, like, oh my gosh, we've been having to say that for the longest time. Like, you see the way my bank account is set up, you know, when friends ask us to go out and do all this stuff and travel. But guess what? When you look back and you reflect, it was all worth it. Even the tough times, it was all worth it. Look at the lessons, okay? Look at the lessons involved here. So Scorpios, good luck to you guys when it comes to your financial ventures. You will come out so much stronger in the end. This new moon will open some new doors for you guys, okay? All right, all right. So next up is Sag. Saggies, sun, moon, or rising. How is a new moon in Sag, conjunct Saturn in Sag, going to affect you guys? So for Sagittarius, this is in your sign. So this is affecting your life path, your body, your appearance, the way that you appear to the world. It's just you in general, Sagittarius. So how it's affecting you? Just think over the last couple of years, what are you wrapping up in anywhere in life as a Sagittarius? Saturn has really dropped some responsibilities on my Sag people. Oh my gosh, you guys have really been hit. Like, let's see. Oh, Dia says her birthday is December 20th. So she's gonna throw as many strategic arrows as possible. Yes, girls, shoot those Sagittarian arrows. Yes, towards goals and dreams and stuff. Definitely do that. That's why I love Sagittarians. You guys are really about those goals. You guys think big, dream big. You encourage other people to do that. You guys know who's the Sag rising is Patrick Starr. Patrick Starr, if you don't know who he is, he's a makeup artist and a YouTuber. He's a Sag rising. I actually got his birth time from his mom. His mom tweeted me back and let me know what time he was born. And he always says stuff like dream big and everything. So a lot of you guys have still been trying to stay dreaming big, but maybe like your dreams haven't manifested as quickly as you've wanted to over the last couple of years. Maybe your dreams, like, you launched some arrows and they didn't go nowhere. They just went meow, psh, and you're like, yo, what happened? Like, usually my Saggy powers are like having a genie. Like, I just get granted like whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? And it hasn't really been working. But that's because Saturn has been teaching you guys, like, look, you need to really make sure you're setting up goals for yourself that are realistic. Saturn is that planet of realism, man. He will put some realism in your face, like hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Saturn is kind of like, he reminds me of like a dog trainer. Like when they're training a dog, some of the rough ones, right? The trained dogs like potty train them, and they will, like, if they, you know, make a mess, like they use the bathroom in the house, they'll like put their nose in it and stuff. And be like, yo, look at here, don't do this again, you know, rub their nose in their own stuff. Saturn can do that sometimes. So for Saggies, you guys may have felt that over the last couple of years. And so, you know, he could have been giving you some tough love, all right, some tough lessons. But guess what? This ride of Saturn and Sag is almost over. You won't have to deal with him for another 28 to 30 years, okay? And then this new moon is opening a new door. All right. See, Dia says, all of good things happen for me during the Saturn transit. You did your first art show. Yes. Thank you for spreading some sunshine and for being an artiste, girl. Spread that art, please. Art is life. Okay. But yeah, some of you guys, it hasn't really been that bad. It's been like you've had responsibilities and you've just like taken them and ran with them and said, yes, Saturn, yes, Saturn, yes, a drill sergeant, yes, drill sergeant, you know, whatever you tell me to do, drill sergeant, like Forrest Gump, you guys have been on it, you know, disassembling and reassembling that gun just like Forrest did, like, you know what I'm saying? Mastering things. Saturn is about mastering. So you guys may have mastered something in your life and achieve great things, even greater than you possibly could have before. So now, anyway, new moon stuff, yo, you guys are going to be killing it, Sagittarius. Okay, just continue to believe in yourselves. Even if you guys have like had lots of heavy stuff happen to you, you can still manifest your dreams. Okay. Hannah says, my friend's birthday is November 23rd. She's attractive, very good PR. She has been hot. Was removed from work. Her son had a kidney stone. Oh, so she had a little bit of a rough ride, but you know what? The new moon maybe can open up some new doors to some really great new beginnings. And maybe the hard, bumpy road of challenges is like going to be over for her now. So yeah, some of you Saggies, you may be granted with a brand new responsibility that's like a top position, doing something you love. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on you. But yeah, the new moon can definitely help open those doors. All right. So to anything that you want to change in your life about you, yourself, your career, where you're going in life, what you're here to do, all that stuff, Sag, you guys can definitely manifest that. So set those intentions tonight, guys. It's all about you. So yeah, next up is Cappy. Cappy, sun, moon, or rising. Ooh, I've only got like a little bit of time left and I got to run out to go pick somebody up. So for Cappies, this new moon in Sag, conjunct Saturn, this is in your 12th house. So Cappies, you guys have had some challenges over the last couple of years that have to do with like more like some mental health things for some Sagittarians. I'm sorry, for some Capricorns. I know some Cappies that have been on the verge of some breakdowns. You know, Cappies are very resilient. You guys don't like to let people know that like you have issues in your life. But I know some Cappies that have had some major issues because Pluto is also in your sign. That's a whole other video, okay? But Pluto is also in your sign. Pluto's a planet of like destroy and rebuild. So Cappies, you guys are really, you guys have really dealt with some strong things like under the surface, you know? Some of you guys have gone off the grid, gone off the radar because you don't like people to know that you're suffering or that you've got like this emotional stuff going on. But guess what? You know, that ride is almost over. The new moon is like new beginnings with new realizations with your life, like reflecting back on life. Like, where am I? Where have I been? Where have I not been? Where am I going? How can I get there? You know, so this new moon can help you to set some new goals because once stuff starts shifting more into Capricorn, it is on for you guys, Capricorn. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a good way. Like, it's time to really start getting some things going in life that have been stagnant. You know what I'm saying? You guys may have had to wallow in some heavy stuff, some heavy mud, some heavy waters, you know, for as Capricorns. And now you're finally getting your life. You're getting your lives. You're getting them together. And it's time to get out of like an emotional funk. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing that some Cappies have learned is how to take time out for yourself. Capricorns can be such workaholics. Oh my gosh. Cappies are the #1 sign that's like a workaholic. Cappies and Virgos, okay? And so because of that, some of you guys don't believe in vacations. Like, I've known hella Cappies and they're like, yeah, I have vacation time, but what's a vacation? What's a day off? And I'm like, yo, like, how can you just still be here at 8 o'clock at night and this joint closed at like 4? You know what I'm saying? Capricorns can be like that. But you guys have learned that in order for you guys to avoid crazy nervous breakdowns and stuff, you have to take time out for yourself. Mental health days, physical health days. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, Capricorn. Your job will still be there tomorrow, all right? The work will still be there. So some of you guys have been learning some mechanisms for coping like yoga and meditation and like being near water and like all those cool, neat little things you can do, like very healing methods to take time away out from the world. Okay. So Cappies, this new moon is new realizations. It's like wrapping up, tying up loose ends in your life so that you can move forward with like these goals that you have, that you want to achieve in business and everything that you guys want to do. So it's going to help to release a lot of old pain, a lot of old memories, and yeah, just help show you guys how to really take care of your spirit. All right. So that's it for Cappies. So next up is Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How's the new moon in Sag conjunct Saturn affecting you guys? So this is for Aquarius. This is in your 11th house. So this is definitely new beginnings with the people that you kick it with. For Aquarius, sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. Woo, like always. The people that you hang with, Aquarius, there's new beginnings there. There could be doors that you shut on people because you realize that they are not like a real friend. You know, they're more like an associate or like a networking acquaintance or something. So you guys realize that about some people. Friends versus enemies versus frenemies versus like networking people versus like real deal, like heart to heart, like they're like my family type of people. Like learning how to separate all those people has been your lesson over the last couple of years. So this new moon is really helping you to finalize and make decisions, maybe to cut some people off. Okay. Block some people, you know, maybe realize how good of a friend that some people have been, or realize how good of a friend that you've been to other people, and who's deserving of it and who's not, you know, stuff like that. But also for some of you guys, the 11th house is the internet, and it's like projects like putting projects out there on the internet, building websites and stuff like that. So some of you guys have been working on that stuff, and now it's time to finalize that. Also, I call the 11th house finding your fellow aliens, like finding the people that are like you, but like you guys are unique, but like you're still alike, but like you're still individuals. You know what I'm saying? That complicated Aquarius stuff. This new moon is opening new doors when it comes to networking. So maybe you guys can find a new tribe of your peoples, of your fellow aliens that you can vibe with, you can connect with, you can network, you can build. Okay. Start that podcast, start that website with this dope new group of people that you found, you know, and maybe cut off an old one, you know, and start anew. So yeah, that's really what it is for Aquarius. It's not a really deep emotional area of your chart. You guys aren't really deep emotional people anyways, so I'm pretty sure you're glad to hear that. All right, so next up, lastly, is Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How's the new moon in Saggy conjunct Saturn affecting you guys? Well, this is in your 10th house of career, and talk about follow your sergeant's directions. Oh my gosh. This is in the 10th house of authority, in the 10th house of the bosses, okay? The management, the people that point the fingers at you, that look at you like they're critiquing you, they're analyzing you, they're seeing if you're worthy of a status or position or, you know, stuff like that, or a title or an honor. Like, are you worthy, Pisces? You know, so those type of people you have been dealing with, or you've been trying to become one of those over the last couple of years for Pisces people. So this new moon is definitely that time where you are figuring those things out. Like maybe you're leaving a career because it's just like, it's not you anymore. It's like, nah, you know what? Pisces is one of those signs that like they have to do things that allow them to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like Pisces is a fish. We swim in the water and we do that freely, and we go in our own current. You know, we don't like to try to be detained. And there could have been situations where some of us, people did try to detain us, excuse me, and really like shut down our creative ideas. Pisces, we're creative people. We like to just express ourselves and do our art freely. And there could be some people that have been like, no, you can't do this. I actually did go through that as a Pisces moon over the last year. I did have a very Saturnian person try to do that to me, try to shut down my creativity, try to tell me that me being myself was like no bueno. Like, I can't be me. I got to be this corporate version of me in order to gain a following and build my platform. And I was like, dude, for real? And at first I kind of believed them. You know what I'm saying? And if you watch a lot of my earlier videos, I was a little bit more like, I don't want to say uptight, but I was in that corporate world, man. And I worked a corporate job and I had to film videos on my lunch break. So I was like in that corporate mode where I didn't feel free to swim as a fishy, you know, as a Pisces, like to be free and express my art and express me, who I really am. But now Saturn is leaving Sagittarius, leaving my 10th house as a Pisces moon. And I feel more free, like, to be me. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys know what I'm talking about, especially if you're an artist and you're a Pisces, or if you're a Pisces in any type of career. Maybe somebody has made it rough for you and they've told you, like, the work that you do is garbage, it's flaming hot garbage. And you're just like, oh my God, why? Why are you disrespecting me and being so mean? But for some of us, maybe some Pisces have needed someone to help them to structure and put their talents in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, help them to develop themselves and their public image in a positive way, to maybe where they weren't aware of how to do that themselves before. So maybe you had, you know, people who are they're experts, they're above you, and they've been like kicking mad knowledge to you, like letting you know, how you can be a boss yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I don't just mean a boss, like bossing people around below you or nothing. I mean like your own boss, Pisces, paving your own path. It may have been tough. You may have gotten some tough love from some people, but just look back at the lessons learned, okay? And now maybe you could be established and be like, yo, my name is Pisces and I'm a blah, 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 blank, blank, blank. This is my title. This is who I am and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this new moon is going to open a door to where you know who you are, who you want people to know you as, and you have like a bomb career opportunity, a new title, something along those lines. So, whew, I got to catch my breath on that too. All right. So yeah, that was it. That was, oh my gosh, sorry. I was pushing some buttons on my mic. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But that was it for the new moon in Sag, horoscopes for every single sign. You know what? I will put timestamps down below in the comments whenever I get a chance. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This video isn't going to be as long as I usually have them, just because I have to jet. But yeah, don't forget to go to my website, you guys, indigomoon.astrology.com. I've got some specials going on in the month of December on some readings. Actually, I have specials every month. I'm going to be coming up with some more sales, especially as we get closer to the holidays. And I'll be giving discount codes for certain things. Birth chart readings. If you want your chart read, for me to interpret your whole birth chart to tell you like what your birth date and or birth time, if you have it, says about you, I will be giving out a discount code very soon to where you can get that at a lower price and, have your chart read by moi. And just to let you guys know, none of the charts that I do, none of the readings I do are based on like a computer generated program or nothing like that. This is all me. I go do all the calculations myself. Okay. Even for your horoscopes, your personal ones that you order from me, I calculate everything myself by hand. These are readings that I do me. I speak them. I record my voice talking, giving you my interpretation, straight from the heart, straight from my intuition. So I put a lot into them. So yeah, if you would like me to interpret anything, your relationships, your career, all that stuff, yo, hit me up, indigomoon.astrology.com. All right, guys. So I will see you guys in a few days. I'm going to be talking more about Saturn moving into Capricorn. So new moon manifestations, set your intentions now, okay? And many blessings to everybody and everything. And thanks for joining me. And I'll see you guys later on. All right, peace out. Love you guys. Thanks for rocking with me.